and welcome to this weekly reading. We've got angel cards and animal totem reading. And this is for January 30th until February 5th. So moving from January into February, which is pretty exciting. It's been a long week. There's still really intense energies going on, and I feel like that's going to continue. So with this reading, I've really asked the angels and guides to help us understand what energies are going to help us best move through these challenging times. So for the beginning of the week, we've got the Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So, the angels also have a sense of humor as well. So yes, we do have a challenging beginning here. That of the new year, 2017. Also, January has gone by really quickly. And we've had the Chinese New Year, the year of the fire rooster. Our first new moon, of course, of 2017. And it's all very exciting. And there's also this energy of being held back as well. So with this Ace of Air, we're starting to see that there's movement here. That there are new ideas, new solutions, new inspirations, concepts coming into your mind, or opportunities that are going to be coming into your life here in the beginning of the week. And also understanding more truth as you become more aware of what your priorities are. And when you're in your authentic self, it's also easier for you to be more aware of the energy that's entering your environment. So being more discerning and enforcing strong but kind boundaries as well. So we've got everything coming into play, and that's why there's a lot of challenging energy, because we're being asked to use all of our resources, not just a few hanging out at the bottom of our magic resource bag. We're really being asked to pull out all the stops. So this is really good, positive, new energy, and it's a new way of thinking, a new way of working with your mind for your highest and best, instead of doing the hamster wheel. So, detaching from issues where we don't have control and surrendering to that lack of control instead of resisting and fighting it. So, I think that describes the energy of that card pretty well. We've got this beautiful Pegasus, just in the heart and the center of the forest. We've got leaves. It looks like fall in this picture. Some fungi on the trees. So it's also about unity. It's also about the circle of life and earth. Even though it's an air card, we've got this connection, earth, air, water, fire. And right now, it's really important to be aware of what's going on in your mind's eye, but also really ground that energy. So if you can do both, be aware of the energy that's in your mind, the thoughts, ideas, inspirations that are coming up, but also ground them with earth energy. Ground them with meditating, doing yoga, whatever you conceive your grounding to be. That's very important right now for your overall health. So in the middle, we've got 7 of water, 7 of cups in the regular tarot. And this is a complex decision, the need to do research and stop procrastinating. So this card has constantly come up in our readings of late. So I feel like what this is saying is, as we're moving through old wounding, old patterns, and releasing old emotions, we're making choices as to whether we're going to continue with that line of feeling. If it was a past relationship, for example, Are we going to bring that same emotion into our new relationship? Or are we going to look at it with new eyes? Are we really stepping into this new beginning in terms of a rebirth? And what rebirth means is new solutions, new ways of being, new ways of creating, and new ways of relating. So with this, I think this is part of our purging, part of us kind of getting used to where we're going and understanding what our new path is going to be like. We're being asked to make a series of choices and decisions based on our highest and best. So doing the research we need, but not sort of lollygagging around in it just so that we don't have to make a decision. And if we decide to rest, if we decide to counter it, to leave it, that's our decision. So being aware of the choices you're making and why. And then for the end of the week, we've got the 8 of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, and many things happening at once. So we have this Mars entering Aries energy. And Aries is take charge. There's a little bit of immaturity, but there's a lot of zest and passion. There's, energy for new projects. So this is a really good sign suggesting that we have motivation, we have energy to move forward. Because recently, I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling like I didn't have a lot of spare energy to go around. Just dealing with a lot of emotions and healing and just consciously doing my work, my own inner work, especially that of healing the inner child and balancing my inner masculine and feminine. So we have this fire energy and the promise of movement. So we're making choices, we're seeing this concept of a new beginning, we're working through challenges, and then we have sort of some wind in our sails, so to speak, by the end of the week. So that's going to really help us, I feel, kind of move out of this stagnant energy where we have been held back to do some extra healing and just finish up the last sort of bits of the 9 energy of 2016, really taking our time with that ending so that we can really make the most of our new beginnings. So this is why it's also important to ground and to really just be aware of your balance moving forward, your inner peace. Your body will let you know if you're off balance. Your mind will let you know if you're off balance, if you're not sleeping. So self-care is huge right now, and that's going to really help when things do start moving, when things do speed up and quicken in pace, because then you will have this energy supporting you, but you'll also be in balance within yourself, and that's a conscious decision, and that's self-care. So that's all about you. There's going to be support from the external forces, but your inner balance and your inner peace will be key for you to move forward for your highest and best. So that's what the angels have for guidance for us for the week. Now I'm going to pull our animal totem card and see what the Mother Gaia animal totems and earth elemental energies have for us. Oh, so we've got the mouse, which is scrutiny, which resonates to the number 2. So, possibly a little shit happening here, which is, a little fertilizer for moving forward. But the mouse is an interesting one of my personal totems as well. So this is really about using all of your senses. So the mouse has these beautiful whiskers, sensing the vibrations around, really looking for opportunities as well. Mouse is a little bit of a scavenger as well, taking advantage of opportunities, finding ways to, get into places where you would think a mouse couldn't get into, So also not overlooking the small things in your life. the small decisions, or apparently small decisions, taking into consideration that everything has an important part to play. There's a story about the mouse and the lion as well, if you'll remember, just giving the imagery of a lion all tied up, and the mouse comes and chews through the ropes. So you have this beautiful, powerful, large beast, this creature, the lion, courage and stamina and strength. And then you have the little mouse that comes and frees him. So scrutiny in your endeavors, meaning, yes, we're moving forward. There's a lot going on externally, and there's this, forewarning or guidance of events that are going to be picking up in pace and moving us forward into the new. So being aware of your surroundings, and that also is aware of your personal energy levels, like I was just mentioning before. Being aware of your surroundings, being aware of your energy levels. Who are you inviting into your environment? Are you taking necessary precautions for those complex decisions? Doing that research. And then being ready to fully take advantage of the opportunities that are going to be offered to you. So use all your senses. Use that intuition. Use those whiskers. Sort of sniff out situations before you run into them. We don't want to get caught in little mouse traps here. So we've learned over the past few years to be discerning, and that not everyone has your highest and best in mind, and to offer love and healing to that energy or individual by taking the best care of yourself as possible. So be just as ready to say a hard no as you would a hard yes. That's part of this balance energy with the two as well. I've also pulled one final card to ask what's at the heart of the matter for us this week. And hopefully we can gain some perspective in terms of the heart. So feeling alone, number 5. So this is an interesting one to pull. We've got the full moon energies in the background here in this image. We've got a lone woman sort of overlooking a small cottage. In the cottage, there's a light on, and she's carrying a lantern. So part of this resonates to, the hermit energy. But at the same time, we've got this river here, and there's not really much flow happening. You don't see any movement in the water. There's no ripples. There's no current. So feeling alone, feeling stagnant. So meaning in your heart, you might be feeling like there's a lack of nurturing, a lack of socialization, feeling victimized, feeling hurt, and just feeling like you're less a part of maybe the social constructs right now than connected to them. And this, I think, is really natural, although it can feel really upsetting and cause some confusion and feeling distraught about things. And that's why it's really important to be able to find that inner peace, even when the external world isn't really offering a lot of clues or hints, because they're sort of taking care of bigger things at the moment. To acknowledge this loneliness. Don't pretend it's not there. Don't pretend, oh, I'm fine. No, you can feel it. You can feel angry. You can feel upset. You can feel pissed off. You can cry your eyes out for hours on end. It's just important to honor those feelings and to understand why you're feeling that way. Is it a loss of control? Is it a feeling of desperation and sadness for the state of affairs politically? What is it for you? What is it triggering the most? And what can you learn from this isolation, this lack of nurturing? Did you learn that you can nurture yourself to the most of your abilities. And even within that, where does that limitation stop for your ability to nurture yourself? And when you learn that boundary, you can know for sure also when you need to ask for help, when you need third-party advice, or to come out of hiding, so to speak, come out of that cave, that, dark valley where you're all alone. You have this guiding light. So there's all this light, the moonlight, the light in the cabin, she's holding a light. So there is light in the darkness. So, trying to hold on to the idea that the situation is temporary, even though it may have been of a longer duration than usual, because I feel like a lot of us have felt this energy all through 2016, maybe even 2015. So just stay as calm as you can. Continue doing as much work as you can. Reward yourself as much as you possibly can. And try to give worries away. Try to work on healing as much as possible. And to focus on positive outcomes. One thing I've been doing this week, because I'm purging and healing a lot from the past, is when a memory comes up that's hurtful for me, that makes me angry or resentful or sad about the past and how it possibly relates to my future. If it's about a person, I say, I forgive you. And I work through that image that's popped up into my mind because I acknowledge that it's there for a reason. So working through that loneliness that's coming up is really important here. We know what it's worth to have the priority of community, of friends who are like-minded, where there's that balance of giving and receiving, where there's a healthy relationship. So being alone, being there, has forced us to create a level of self-care and understanding that we've never really delved into before. That gives us an idea of the perimeter of our own sphere and where we really need to connect with the external sphere as well. So there's that balance of internal and external as well for us. So thank you for tuning in to this reading. I hope that helps you out for this week with the wild energies going on. Please do take care of yourself. Be as kind to yourself as possible. We're all doing the best we can here. And there's so much happening. Try to just focus on the best things possible, the best outcomes possible. Okay? Lots of love. Bye for now.